Welcome back, everybody, to Dread 608 Plays. We're playing Xenonauts 2, a Milestone 6 of their early release. I am playing this on a normal difficulty and reacting to things as they come up. So it'd be kind of like if you were playing it for the first time and kind of how things happen to you and what you need to do to try and win the game, so to speak. As a caveat, I am a playtester and I am also a Kickstarter backer, so I know more about what's going on in the development cycle than maybe the average person does. You can find it on Steam in early access, so you can join us and play this through the same way that I've been doing it and see how things are developing in the game and so on. They have added this in Milestone 6. We added this huge strategic layer, strategic stuff that we never had before. So it's been very entertaining to try and have to make these decisions on what you're doing, and they also took away your absolute grind when you have to go grinding through UFOs over and over and over again. Now you can just get cash for them. As a matter of fact, it actually costs you these strategic operation points if you want to go do a recovery on a UFO. So now you have to balance, do I want to lose my operations points that I'm spending to do all this stuff down here? Or do I want to just say, okay, I'll take the money and we'll move on? So it's, again, another level of resource management that you have to deal with. We got to month end, so it only took me 2 sessions last time. The first session was rather long because I had a cleaner base to take out. And then, or something, I don't know what it was. I had a very long mission. I know it was like an hour and a half session. And then the next one wasn't quite as bad, and we got all the way to month end. So we're going to go take a quick look at our bases. This is empty because I have an aircraft over here, and then I'm going to want to build another aircraft with my money. But I also need to start up a base in Asia, and I really would like to get a training facility going over here. And I need to send some troops. Now that I have a living quarters over here, I do need to get some troops over here so I can defend this in case the aliens come and attack me. So I have a lot of things to do. On my soldiers, you can see I've already got 4 guys over here. I probably need to get a few more. Usually want to have 8. But in this base, I don't have that many extra soldiers to send, so I may actually have to draft some people. This guy's almost healed up. This guy's almost healed up. He's going to be a long time getting healed up. I am at laser equipment. I am working on getting the Dragonfly dropship at 17 hours, which I need to do. I don't know if I'll be able to build it right away, because then I would have to send the Skyhawk elsewhere if I do that. And I'm not sure if I want to get another Phantom first or if I want to just go get the dropship right away. The dropship would let me take more people, more than 8. I think it lets me take 10, which could be important. What am I built out as? I've got my standard build out here. Okay, and then let's make sure we have things lined up. We do not. This is a heavy gunner. So the heavy gunner goes on one side, shield goes on the other, tank goes there. I always put the sniper behind him. I have 2 assaults over here that are fairly well built up, and here. And then if you look at my people, we have Warden armor still. The shotguns are now in the Guardian armor. They're a little overweighted because you really need to have, looks like a minimum of 70 strength to be a guy. So I'm not carrying as much there. Everyone else is in Warden armor. I am going to try to get people up to Guardian armor, especially the shield guy. And I also want to get up the shields. I'm right now not building anything. So I was going to go ahead and do this. It takes a lot of alloys. The shield is a really nice thing. Air weapons also takes a lot of alloys. And the only reason why you want to build this is because, and then the Guardian armor takes 10 alloys for each unit. So I kind of got to make up my mind what I want to get first. I think I want to get... Take me like 2 days to get this. I really like to get the Salt Shield because it gives me 160 protection. This would be nice too, but I don't have nearly enough alinium to do anything. So I'm kind of stuck as far as the alinium goes. I either have to buy some more or... not really buy, but spend op points to get more alinium so I can do stuff. I don't think I can get that much. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and build up the assault shield as well afterwards. Okay, so that's some of the money I've spent. In the base, I'd really like to get a training facility going, but they're very expensive. They're $750,000. But it lets you train up your soldiers if you can get it. And it takes 20 days. So I won't get it before the end of the month. So I guess I'm going to have to go without it. Because I am going to need to build aircraft at some point. So I can't build another this. And I think I need this to build the other thing. So let's go take a look out here. What would it cost for alinium? I'd only get 26 for 100 op points. If I spend the 100 op points to recover a UFO, I might get more. So I got to get myself up to well over 100 op points. So I think we're going to have to pass some time here. Shouldn't be too long before I get the thing. There we go, the X-3 Dragonfly dropship. The X-3 Dragonfly is a tilt-rotor dropship that combines the performance of a turboprop aircraft with the functionality of a helicopter, increasing carrying capacity and speed to make it a major upgrade over the older X-2 Skyhawk. Most notable feature of the Dragonfly are the twin tiltable rotor assemblies, each of which is auto-stabilized and can be controlled independently. This makes the Dragonfly easy to maneuver in tight spaces, an important consideration given it will frequently be called upon to deploy soldiers into confined urban environments. These rotors are reinforced with alien alloys and driven by a pair of ER2 alinium reactors that allow the generation of truly monstrous amounts of thrust. When locked in flight position, the Dragonfly is easily capable of breaking the sound barrier. Although smaller than the Skyhawk, the Dragonfly can nonetheless carry a larger squad of 10 combatants, including up to 2 vehicles. This increased carrying capacity is primarily possible due to the removal of the Skyhawk's enormous fuel tanks, which are no longer required due to the aforementioned alinium reactors. Unsurprisingly, constructing a Dragonfly will be expensive and consume large quantities of precious alien materials. That I suspect is a price well worth paying. One does not require an intellect as vast as my own to observe that bringing more soldiers to the battle will increase our chances of victory. So, it's really fast. It can go 16,000 kilometers. Health of 1,000. Upkeep 150. It can carry up to 10. 2 of them can be vehicles. I never have more than 1 vehicle, usually. Okay, so that's that. Now we have to go to assign a research project. The only thing we have left here is this, so we're just going to do that. And we go to engineering, and if you go to the aircraft, the Dragonfly requires more allies and alinium than I have. Okay. So I need like 20, 45 alinium, and I can only get 26 from the buy. Boy, alinium is really at a premium here when you don't have the ability to go after the downed aircraft. It's a problem. So I need to get my op points up here. Should I lay down another base? Interesting. Midday 153. How much does it cost to build a base out here? Oh my god. Costs $1.5 million? Only cost $1 million to get into Australia. I leave parts of the Soviet Union uncovered. Costs $1 million to get it into the southern tip of Japan or Korea. I'd barely be able to cover Australia. Obviously, that's the prime position, is to go on Taiwan or in the Philippines. So it's based on what your coverage is. Let's see. Wow. 1.5 million would only leave me $1 million. Because I'm not going to be able to build many ships. Well, I'm going to get overlap here if I upgrade my radars. So the question is it better to be here so I have a little bit of touch? I think that's where we'll go. We'll go into the northern Philippines. And we'll just call this Asia 1, and we'll see if this works. Probably not. Same thing we did before. And then we should build right away. What I do is I build a storeroom. And then I just stop there. So I have 865,000. It's enough to build me a Dragonfly. And we got to go out and pass some time and hope we can get something that'll... I need some more op points so I can actually recover a UFO. If I shoot one down. Observation Mantid. Observation of the captured Manton specimen is now complete, Commander. Can bite in melee, small size, 45 health, time unit 75, accuracy 60, strength 60, reflexes 55, bravery 40. Subject has a rather nervous disposition, becoming visibly skittish whenever anyone approaches. It communicates largely via high-pitched chittering, but despite our best efforts, the language proved impossible to decode. Interacting with the Mantid reveals that it is surprisingly intelligent, demonstrating the ability to quickly master electronic devices and solve test problems with ease. Even relatively complex arithmetic proved little issue for our captive, but sadly we lack the common vocabulary to test more advanced concepts. Given their frail physiology, herbivorous nature, and excellent vision, I suspect these creatures originally evolved as prey beasts. Although their strong marksmanship means they still pose a threat, one imagines their primary role is actually to operate complex equipment such as UFOs, rather than combat. Indeed, many of my assistants seem to rather enjoy interacting with the Mantid, treating it like one would a particularly intelligent dog. Rest assured, I will monitor this matter closely. We must not forget that this creature was an active enemy combatant only a short time ago. Okay. And I don't have a research project to assign. So I won't do anything. This will be done in 18 hours. And I've got to get more alinium. Alinium. I need more alinium. I'm hoping to be able to maybe go get a ship. Okay. Do I just have them make me money? Alright, what have I got here? Now I should have enough to give him a guardian armor. Wow, he's way overweighted, isn't he? She is way overweighted. So maybe I get rid of this for now. And then I was thinking of putting the lads heavy in this stuff. I don't know. I don't think he can take it. Yeah, he'd be overweighted too. Alright, so the 2 shotguns, the shield, and the heavy all have good armor on. Can't really afford to build any other armor, so we're kind of waiting here till we run into something. Has this changed at all? Still only 26. Okay. And the alloys would be 56. If I get to 200, I might grab both of those. I don't know. So we're kind of skimming along here, just wasting time. How much time have I been? 15 minutes, 16 minutes in? We haven't gotten any new guys out. I can't really afford to build an airplane, is my problem. Speaking of which, are my airplanes all armed correctly? Laser lances, sidewinders, laser lances, sidewinders. Laser lance and sidewinder. Laser lance and sidewinders. Okay. With fuel pods. Okay. Just wanted to make sure I had the best I could put out there. This is rather bizarre. 9 days and I haven't had anything come up. So I have the extra hangar here. So if I were to build the X-25, then I could send the Sky Ranger over here. Maybe recruit some more soldiers. But I need money, which I'm not getting anyhow. What does this cost me to do? 250 op points to get 300,000 monthly financing. Okay. 325 to get that guy. Wow. He's only 175. And see, it gives me training rate, but I don't have anybody to train. African security. That might help. What's the Asian money look like? He's 175 to give me what now? It'd be 3 extra op points a day. But that'd be like all my op points, and I haven't seen a UFO yet. Let's wait a little bit. Yeah, there's stuff going on in Asia that I can't do anything about. Okay, we found an alien base. Aliens have constructed an outpost on our planet. Although we don't know the exact purpose of this installation, we should attempt to destroy it as soon as possible. So it's in -25 in the Asia Pacific, indefinite. Basically, it's slowly increasing panic in the surrounding regions. Capturing the facility will improve our strategic position. Grant significant amount of resources. Where is this base? Oh, wow, it's down in Australia. What do I do? So I need to build this. I need both alloys and selenium. And it takes 4 days. I get 27. Alright, that should let me build the airplane. Gonna take out most of my aluminium, but I really need to get this out there. I'm gonna wait 4 days to go after the base so that I have a bigger ship. Okay, where are you? This is a whole bunch of fighters. This is going to be hard to intercept. Okay. Let's go see if we can catch them. Okay, it's a fighter with a couple of probes. So if we do this right... Oh, no, no, no. I don't want Phantom 1 over there. All right, let's see if this works. So my Phantom took some hits. Phantom got hit pretty hard. But we'll take the result. We'll get a few points of alloys out of that. Phantom's got to get repaired. Alright, we got to get this up to... Uh-oh. This is... a medium with a very small... I don't know if these guys can do this. Alright, let's do an intercept here. Oh, I don't think I can pull this off. A destroyer and a defender. Ouch. This will be very hard. Angel 3's gonna need to dodge. Oh, wow, Angel 3 almost died. I don't have 100 operation points to give him, so I have to take the money. Much as I'd love to go get that destroyer. Alright, can we speed this up to get me some alloys? Oh, I got 2 alinium out of it, too. 2 days, 10 hours, huh? Why do I have 1 accelerated pistol? Why doesn't the shield have... Oh, I got an extra accelerated pistol because I was going to give that to my sniper. And now, do I have... I do have a couple more las rifles, so... Do I have some people I can make... I have this person as an assault. What would happen if I made them a las rifle? Okay. This guy can pick up a couple grenades. Okay. Alright, let's try and get this X whatever out here so I can go get this base. Come on, you guys. Hey, Joy. Generator costs $250,000. I tend to put the generator on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. Because then I'll put in a hangar and a radar next. But I have to get the ability to build airplanes. I'm trying to get this going here. Come on, you guys. Okay. Alright, so now we have some ships to deal with. So here, these guys all get unassigned. Because if you send it over to the other base, which is what I'm planning on doing. Now I'm going to go into here. This guy has nobody in it, and we're going to relocate him to USA 1. So he's not in my base anymore. Then we go back here, and then we've got the Dragonfly. And so, we're going to put shield in the Dragonfly. Heavy. Actually, this guy goes in the Dragonfly. So the guy I put in there doesn't belong in the Dragonfly. He's base defense. Yeah, this is the guy that belongs in the Dragonfly. Tank? We'll put in the sniper. Sarah? We'll put in the 2 shotguns. And then 4 las rifles. So we're gonna take the good guy because this is a base thing. So I only have 2 guys left to defend the base. But if we go look at my ship, go look at this ship, you see that you can put 10 people in here. So we have to rearrange things. That's the sniper. So this guy goes here. Oh, what is this? He's the heavy. So I always like to put the tank here, this guy here, and this guy here. On the doors, I like to have my sniper here. These guys on the doors. Guys here. And then these guys, I put 1 in the middle and 1 back here to go whichever way. Okay. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 captains, 1 lieutenant, 1 sergeant major. Whole lot of captains. Which is going to be bad because I'm probably going to lose them. Because base attacks are really nasty. Do I have time to build a couple more Guardians? I don't think so. Because if I go out here, Asia Pacific's up to 30, 43, 33, 28, 38, and 41. So if I were to go ahead and build... I do have a lot of armor. I could build... Let's see, I need las rifles, there's 4, and the sniper. I need 5. That's 5 days. Do we have 5 days? We're gonna try it. We're gonna go all in on this. Oops. Only need 5. Alright, let's spin it up for 5 days and see if we get away with this. I'm gonna get up to 100 op points, so now I can do something. I don't have enough to do anything there, because I'm out of money. Uh-oh. We've got problems, kids. I don't know if I can take this one out. I don't have the right things. Well, we're gonna try it. This is a bomber. Okay, we've got a new critter. Okay, let's see what happens. Angel 2 needs to dodge. Well, we took it down. So bomber wreckage is just bomber wreckage. Okay, let's go in here. We've got to change ourselves some... A las sniper. If I put you in guardian, you're right on the nose. Las rifle, I don't think you're fine. Las rifle, okay. Las rifle, this is going to now be... save this roll. That's the minimum. Your 2-time unit's over, but I'm going to leave you with your 3 grenades. Because you're the only one that's at a minus, right? You've got heavy steel plating. We're going into a base. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh, I never upgraded this. Christ. I forgot to upgrade weapons. Takes me 1 day to get a laser cannon, a laser auto rifle on it. I'm gonna wait another day. Let's see what the bomber wreckage gives us. 20 alien alloys and 4 alinium. Okay, that was not bad. And we get some information on a UFO bomber, and then I'm going to call this here, and we'll go do the base combat in the next session, because it's going to be a long session. And I can show you how to do an alien base. The bomber is a large UFO used purely for ground attack purposes. Carrying only a single pilot and laden with volatile munitions, it will create little more than a twisted field of smoking wreckage if shot down. Due to the high threat nature of their activities, any bomber we encounter should be considered a priority target. Built around the monstrous fusion artillery weapon system, they can utterly devastate nearby military and civilian infrastructure if not dealt with quickly, with a predictably negative effect on local panic levels. Thankfully, these craft are not overly formidable combatants. Their main weapon is clearly adapted to engage static targets, and the fusion bombs it fires travel slowly, making them easy for our interceptors to evade. The bomber itself also lacks agility and has been fitted with no armor whatsoever, rendering it highly vulnerable to most types of air-to-air weapons. Unless guarded by escort fighters, they should be fairly easy to dispatch. Ultimately, these UFOs thus pose more of a strategic challenge than a tactical one. The war has now entered a stage where any funding region not adequately protected by our interceptors will be quickly bombed into submission. Great. Aha! I can now do alenium explosives, which we will do. Because that will give me alenium missiles, which will make life better if I can get enough alenium and money to build them. So he's going to quit making us money and go do that. The engineers are 5 hours away from this, so we're going to zip up those 5 hours. You're going to make me money. We're going to go into here. The Mars should be... Yeah, it's an automatic laser rifle. So it's not very good, but it's better than the other one was. It's 40 thermal. It takes out -8 armor per hit, which could be important where I'm going into a base, because I don't know what I'm going to run into. I have heavy steel plating. The question is do I want the cannon or missiles? Missiles in a base are problematic, because they very well could go wrong and blow up on me. So I think I have to take the cannon and just admit that the tank is probably going to die. It does do 68 kinetic, but he's probably going to die. Alright, and then the rest of the soldiers are kitted out as good as I can make them. We've got Guardian armor, las guns all around. couple people have accelerator pistols. Lots of... Laz Heavy's the only one that's a little bit suspect. He's only got basically 9 10-round shots. Or 10 3-round shots. So he's going to be a little bit of a mix. Probably should have given him an accelerator pistol as well. So I probably should have made another one of those, but... oh well. I think we need to go get the base. Now the real question is, we're going to actually put in a save game here. Before travel to base. So we only got 10 days until the waveform peak, and we don't have enough to do there, so we're going to try to get to here. This is as good as it gets. We can't carry anything else. Oh, they did add this. They have a button that takes you straight here to show where your soldiers are going to be. Since we're going to be in a base, I'm going to be able to deploy them anyway. So there's not a lot I can do that's going to be different. And then you can jump back here to equip your guys with different equipment. I think we're about as equipped as we can go. So let's get over there, and we will stop when we get there, and the next session we will do the base attack. So see if we get there without getting shot down. Looks like we might make it to northeastern Australia without getting shot down. Alright, we're going to do this. And we will be back when the mission's going to start. We're going to do that in the next session because I'm already at 43 minutes. If you like what you're seeing, hit the thumbs up button. If you like to see, please subscribe. And hit notify if you subscribe. That way you'll see when I'm loading these up and when I'm put up polls for voting on what's going to come up on the channel. And all that kind of good stuff. You can join my Discord server, Dren608 Plays. That is... it's a Discord server I started just for this channel, so you can get on there and talk to me about what I'm doing, questions you might have that you don't want to throw out in chat, or hints that you don't want to throw out in chat just because you want to, you don't want to give away the game, but you want to ask if such and such a thing is possible or something like that. And also give me ideas on what you'd like to see me record going forward. I am planning on stopping this probably around day 210. I'll go through the first couple months of the waveform hit, but I don't know that I'm going to finish the game here in recording because I kind of want to keep it a surprise for y'all. I'll put up a poll and see if you guys want to see me try and finish it or not. But I'm trying to get you an idea of what gameplay is like so you can go out and get it yourself. But we'll let the polls decide that, so another reason to subscribe. I do stream on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All of them right now are Baldur's Gate 3 streams. Friday is a romp with Gale. I'm playing as Gale, romancing Karlach, and I have mods on that to let me have lots and lots of adamantine, so I have everybody in adamantine armor with adamantine weapons floating around, and shield and stuff like that. And then I also have... the mod that lets me take more than 4 people in the party, so it's a romp. I mean, it's 9 of us wandering through Baldur's Gate. It's like somebody says, "You're dead," and we go, "Yeah, really?" So it's kind of ridiculous. But it's just for fun. It's just for me to show you how ridiculous it can get with some of the mods. And I also had to throw in the romance mod to make sure that there's a glitch that you can mess up the romance with Karlach if you do things in the wrong order, which I must have done, so I went back and added the mod that lets me reset her flag so we can keep that romance going. And we're going to see where that takes us. Saturday was a fan pick for me to play a monk as with the Drunken Master subclass in BG3. I haven't added any mods there. I'm planning on probably adding some cosmetic ones. I think I'm going to try and play that one straight with just the 4-person party. Since it was a fan pick for me to do that. Friday was a replacement of us trying to do a multiplayer game, and schedules just didn't work. And the person I was playing with, my youngest, told me, well, I should, go ahead, and I was like, well, can I, since, we don't seem to be able to hook up, I was thinking of trying to do one of the origin characters, and they were like, that's a good idea. And I was like, well, I was thinking of doing it, and they just said Gale. And I went, well, should play Gale. I was like, yes, I guess I've been ordered to play, Gale. All right. And then once I got to playing Gale, I was like, I started looking at some of the options for Gale and romancing, and supposedly if you do things right, you can get a really neat romance end with Gale and Karlach. So hopefully I'm going to do it right and get that ending, but maybe not. And then Sunday was going to be just recorded stuff like this, but I put up a poll and everybody said, no, stream this. So I'm streaming another Baldur's Gate 3. This one has to be completely unmodded because I'm trying to get the Jack of all trades feat, which means I'm going to be a level 1 everything. So I'm I don't think we're level 6 or 7 now. So I'm 7 level 1s of things. Whereas everybody else is like getting 4th level spells and all these great feats and all this other great stuff. I'm just like, nah, I'm going to try this one now. I'm very much like Neighbor in Baldur's Gate. Garms, I think it is. You find him. Where he's like, oh, I'm going to be this, oh, I'm going to be that, oh, I'm going to be this. So that's what I am. I'm trying out all the level 1s. It's actually fairly entertaining. It makes me have to think really hard when I'm in combat because being a level 1, I really don't have a lot of hitting power. So I try to take spells that are more... I have a few things that'll do some damage, like to finish enemies off, but pretty much I'm like using scrolls, throwing potions, doing stuff like that because that's what I'm good at. Basically, I have gotten all the equipment to flesh out the character. I got the crown that gives me an intelligence of 17, or whatever you call it, and then I just picked up the bracers that give me an 18 in the Githyanki Crash. So I have an 18 dex. So 14 con, 12 strength, 18 dex, 17 intelligence, 14 wisdom, and 16 charisma. I figured as a level 1, I was going to have to do a lot more talking than spellcasting as a wizard or a druid or a cleric or whatever. So it's been a real romp, so you can come join me on Sundays for that. There'll be more of this coming out, obviously, since you're watching this one. And there's some other things in the works. I'm trying to work out how Roll20 works with Traveler tabletop role-playing game. And I will probably put out a video or two on some tips for DMs, kind of another way to try and help you get through character creation, because it can be very, it's very involved as far as step. And if you try to follow the flowchart, you can get lost and you'll forget things. So I came up with an acronym system where it's just letters, so you can just look at the letters and they kind of tell you what you need to do. And I'll be presenting that as soon as I can figure out how to make Roll20 work the way I want it to. I've tried it a couple times and it just doesn't seem to... I always get stuck on something or something is broken and I'm like, okay, I need to figure out how this works. So I'm still working on that. If that one goes over well and people are interested, I may try to put up some tabletop role-playing stuff using Roll20. I've got to get buy-in from my family, otherwise it'll be me basically doing it solo with like 2 or 3 characters that I create on stream. My family's already created their characters offline, and I've translated them into Roll20 with all of their the gear that they were given. In one case, I made a couple of assumptions for someone and bought them some gear, but they'll have final veto over that. So before I run that particular campaign or whatever, I have to get everybody's approval of what I quote-unquote bought for them. But there were a lot of people that had, like, one person had a blade and a weapon, another person had 2 weapons, so they took a blade, or 3 weapons, they took a blade and 2 weapons. somebody has 4 weapons. One career gave him 2 guns, and the other career gave him 2 weapons. So he's like in the air on what he wants to do. If he wants to take like 1 weapon in each one and then up a stat, you know, a skill proficiency in those, or if he wants to just have a ton of weapons. So we're still working on that, and then they'll have to buy armor. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting group. They cover most of the skills that you would need in any of the adventures, and I'm going to run them through the Spinward Marches 1 through 5 with a sandbox element where it's like if they're in a place where I can, you know, trigger the use of one of the adventures, then that's what I'll do. Is I'll kind of give them the option to go and do that adventure, or they can go off and do whatever the heck they want. So it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out, and I'm hoping to get buy-in from them to maybe record it or something along those lines, or I will just do it myself as a solo thing, create some characters and go through and do that. Okay? So lots of things coming on the channel. There's also going to be, once I get done with Baldur's Gate 3 streams, I'm going to be doing Dragon Age and Divinity Original Sin 2. 2 things we picked up at Christmas. One was a gift. One was I bought everybody in the family DOS 2 because it was on sale. And then for me, one of my sons bought me Dragon Age because he really wants to see me play it. So I told him, okay, when I get done with the Baldur's Gate 3 streams, I put up a poll, and the vote was finish your streams and then start new stuff. Don't go, you know, abandoning a stream to start a new thing. So that's what I'm doing. Okay? So when we come back next time, we will begin this mission. And we'll see if I can survive it. I don't think so. I'm going to lose some people because alien bases are very nasty. All right. Anyway, I'm Dren608. Until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.